Hello Galactic family, greetings dear ones on this day that commemorates an event so many still remember and mourn. Know that nothing happens for naught and that those whose physical bodies perished, chose pre-birth to be a part of some event that would help to awaken others. No one ever dies, although their coming home so suddenly created tremendous grief and loss for loved ones left behind. These dear ones chose to serve in this way for the purpose of helping to awaken a complacent and somewhat protected society to the horror and pain that violence causes, as well as to open those sleeping eyes to many heretofore hidden issues. This event was an important lesson for the country of USA, which has often, under the guise of actions necessary for peace and righteous protection, brought about this same suffering to others. The event called 9/11 brought forth a new and higher awareness of the meaning of peace, of oneness, and how violence, even when far away and out of sight, never brings about peace back home, for there is no far away and there is no us versus them, there is only one. Peace is an evolved state of consciousness, and thus can and will never come through third-dimensional thinking, plotting, planning, and scheming. Real peace can only come about when the substance of it, a consciousness of peace, is present to manifest outwardly as peace. Peace is your job as light workers. You are awake and thus carry the light of oneness with you into every situation of daily living, the awareness of Source as being the only power, only presence and only reality present within every person. Too many still sit back waiting for others to make peace. In spite of good intentions, there are a few leaders who do understand this. True peace cannot manifest outwardly without the substance necessary to form it, a consciousness of peace. Many leaders as well as individuals pretend to want peace while acting out from a consciousness of violence in order to achieve self-serving and self-righteous goals without care as to how many may be hurt in the process. They justify their actions by telling themselves and others that what they are doing is for the good of mankind. It is past time for pretend peace to end, for all involved to be honest with themselves, and for obsolete concepts of the past to be allowed to dissolve into the nothingness that they are. Many of the world's so-called actions for peace are not, but are simply three-dimensional goals disguised in words of explanation that will cause the least resistance from the majority. However, the world is waking up and quickly becoming aware that the old ways no longer work. Promotion of and false information about peace efforts continue because there are those who profit from violence and war and will continue to promote the false as long as a sleeping society allows it. The awakening world is quickly growing weary and no longer resonates with the propaganda of violence and war. The glamour and glory of it is beginning to be seen even by those fully involved in it, for what it is: pain, suffering, and death, in spite of all the rah-rahs, flag-waving, and promotion by those who stand to benefit. When the world was fully third-dimensional, war and violence was seen and understood by the majority to be a natural and accepted solution to disputes. We do not denigrate the sacrifices of those who lovingly give their lives in the service of combating evil. The majority of these dear ones willingly have and still are doing it from a place of love for others. Warrior energy is a powerful and positive energy that every one of you has experienced and integrated through events of other lifetimes. Do not think of warrior energy as violence, but as strength, power, and fearlessness. Those still needing to experience and integrate the warrior energy will have opportunities to do this as warriors for peace, truth, and love. Up to now, the world has seen peace only as an absence of war. However, it is now, today, a new time in which mankind is evolving to a higher level of awareness with regard to everything. In order to do this, the tools, beliefs, and actions based in duality and separation consciousness must be re-evaluated within a new and higher state of consciousness. Holding to solutions that represent what has been outgrown only serve to keep individuals locked in ideas and solutions that will no longer work. Many believe that the world must remain as they have always known it, and that it must not change. Evolution is an infinitely ongoing process guided by each person's higher self in order for an individual to awaken to the reality of his true self. Evolution happens when a person is spiritually ready for the next step in their awareness. Some awaken quickly, others need wake-up calls, but all will at some point awaken to truth, perhaps many lifetimes from now. The world is in the midst of intense energies of evolutionary change, and you are all feeling this. Hold to your center in spite of what happens in the outer world. Release the need to know about every bit of news or gossip floating through the airwaves, and practice seeing reality behind both good as well as bad appearances, because both are illusory. What is the reality? Only the attributes of Source are reality, and these forever held in place by divine law. Peace, abundance, joy, completeness, wholeness, intelligence, creativity, etc. are only some of the aspects of the divine lying unrecognized within everyone. Claim your divinity, dear ones, for you are ready. There are many young people of evolved states of consciousness on earth or coming in at this time. They have lovingly chosen to assist with Earth's evolutionary ascension. Their light is reflecting throughout the world in new ways of seeing and thinking, for they do not see things the same way that those still holding old energy do. Parents, teachers, and families are rapidly becoming aware of bright little ones and teens who do not buy into beliefs of duality and separation, or old ways of doing things, often causing consternation to those around them who believe that their way is the only right way. Listen to and heed the messages of these old souls in new bodies, and do not try to force them into cages of conformity because they are young and you believe you know best. Yes, they need structure and guidance, but most of all they need to be loved and listened to with respect, for they are here to help birth a new world consciousness and a society of peace. Trust your intuition, for you will recognize them, and know that you are blessed if you are the parent, teacher, or guardian of one. Practice peace. Pet the dog who looks longing to you for some affection. Smile to the street person who may receive nothing but disgust throughout his day while putting $1 in his cup. Be patient with the lonely neighbor who rambles on about nothing in a desperate need for companionship. Treat those who work with or for you with respect and recognition, no matter how obnoxious they may seem. Learn to be gentle to all forms of nature. The energy of these seemingly small actions flowing outward creates peace, for peace is nothing more than unconditional love, and where there is unconditional love, there cannot help but be peace. This does not always mean that an unpleasant person will stop being selfish and unpleasant, nor does it eliminate the need for some people spend some time away from others. When presented with the nonsense of a three-dimensional belief system, the awakened individual does not buy into, ignore, or blindly say, "God is all, it doesn't matter." He does not deny, but acknowledges what he sees, while at the same time recognizing the underlying truth. Example: you come upon a car accident. You don't say, "Oh, this is all illusion," and then leave, but instead you realize that you are witnessing the expression of energies based in duality, bad versus good, and separation, each driver separate from other drivers. You then proceed to assist as you can. It has been said, "Be in the world, but not of it." Let this be your motto for living the experiences of each day as a spiritually awakened person. A spiritually evolved state of consciousness automatically serves to bring light into every situation, no matter how seemingly mundane, often manifesting as the perfect solution to any problem. In this way, you gently, silently, sacredly, and without conscious thought, add peace to world consciousness. Peace is a state of consciousness at rest in oneness and is often seen in persons who seemingly have no interest or knowledge of spiritual matters, having attained this state of consciousness in previous lifetimes. They are here on earth at this time to serve through action or example, their peace fully established in consciousness. Many find themselves drawn to these individuals because their consciousness radiates a gentle energy felt by those around them. Throughout the ages, many of these evolved souls have been ignorantly worshipped and pushed into undesired places of spiritual authority by those who did not and still do not understand that they themselves carry the same qualities they seek from this other person. As more and more people awaken and begin to radiate the energy of unconditional love, the consensus consciousness of the whole world will gently move into peace. This is your work. We are the ARCTURIAN group,